Good afternoon, my brothers and sisters of metal, Metal Troll here, and today I have a review for you guys of the new album by Trick or Treat, Rabbit's Hill Part 2. This album. Yes, the light's a little bit shit. Rabbit's Hill Part 2, as is the follow-up of Rabbit's Hill Part 1, of course. And this continues the story of Where the Ship Down. For you who don't know that, you won't get to know this story via this review, because I'm just going to review the songs and not what the story is. Maybe some snippets of the story, but not a lot of it. Just about how the songs are sounding and how they're called and if it's worth buying. Well, it is worth buying, I can tell you that. It's a very good album. But let's just start with the songs. The first song is Inla, the Black Rabbit of Death, which, as it says, it's the death of rabbits, like Grim Reaper of rabbits. The song itself starts off very slow, so when I first listened to it I was like, okay, it's going to be one of those flourishly happy opening songs, but after that it just straight on goes for you. It's very fast, very powerful. You can feel the anxiousness, the agitation in the song. The song itself is quite a nice time long. It's like 5 minutes and 1 second long, so it's a very full-fledged song. And yeah, it's a good opener. It's not one of those openers that you're like, oh, it's such a drool, like starting off very slowly and keeping it happy. No, it just straight on the fury, as it is the follow-up to how the last album ended. Then you have the mandatory cheering up part of the albums, the happy song, and it's called Together Again, which I can only say is it's not slow, but it's a very cheerful, short song with only 2 minutes and 42 seconds long. It's just a lightening up point in the whole story thing, just like what you had on the first album. Then you have Cloud Rider, which is one of those mid-tempo power metal songs where you have the bass opening of doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Well, that's the drum. I can't really do that well. I'm not a beatboxer, so it's not something I would do normally. But it's one of those nice, very building up songs. You can feel the anticipation building up till a certain song on this album, which you will find out why I say it's anticipation building up. Then we got, and I'm gonna say this probably wrong, as I've always did it. I've always said that name wrong. It's Efratha. It's a very, very fast song and also a big part of the story. But I'm not going to tell you that, so if you want to know the story, buy the albums or read the book Where the Ship Down or watch the cartoon film. And it's not a cute cartoon film, because it's pretty dark and yet very pretty. So just to warn you guys. The next one is Never Say Goodbye, and this is, as you can hear from the text, or what I thought when I first read the back of the CD, is the ballad of the album. It is the power ballad. It's a duet ballad with Sarah Squadrani, better known for vocals for Arian, the group from Arian Lucas. And yeah, it's again a mandatory thing on an album to have a ballad or a slower song, and that is this song. It's a very pretty song, and I like it. And then we have The Great Escape. This is not the part of the anticipation I'm talking about, but it's still the building up. You can feel something is getting closer. You don't know what yet, but something is getting closer, and this album takes you to that high with those songs. This song is actually also fairly long, with 4 minutes and 56 seconds, as was the Efratha, which was 6 minutes 37 seconds, and Never Say Goodbye was 5 minutes 48. So we've got some considering amount of time on this album already. Oh, and then I dropped it. So if I dive away, you know why. If I can reach it. Yeah. Yes, got it. Here at the back. In between. So, where were we? Ah, The Great Escape, yeah. Well, that's Anticipation. Now we get a song, it's called They Must Die. Yeah, this is the main antagonist in this story. The general, also a rabbit. And it got defeated by the main character in this story. And yeah, it got defeated and he wants to take revenge. This song is a duet again, but not with a female, it's with Tim Owens, better known for his work with Iced Earth, Judas Priest, and Dio's Disciples. And a lot of more also solo stuff. And a lot of extra focus on different bands. Let's not go into that. This is this is a furious song. You can feel the anger in it, and yeah, it actually adds to the anticipation of the whole thing. Then we have Beware the Train. Beware the Train is an instrumental song from 2 minutes and 37 seconds, though They Must Die was 6 minutes and 5 seconds. I keep forgetting to say the time, but it's handy to know. Then we get the single of the album. It's called United, with Tony Kakko from Sonata Arctica. And this song is one of the nicer songs on the album. I really like it, and it shows, as I tried to explain in one other thing, the unity and the brotherhood of the rabbits in itself. That, yeah, well, it might be dangerous, but we're not going to leave you. We're not going to leave you hanging. We're going to support you. We're going to fight, even though we probably won't survive. We're still going to do it. And I really like that feeling. That is loyalty, and loyalty is a very, very, very big thing in my book. Then we have what is building up to the showdown, the final fight to determine everything. And this song is 10 minutes and 46 seconds long. It's a long stretch with some narrated parts, very fast paced, some slow paced. It's your average song that has everything in it, and it's just brilliant. It's such a releasing of your anger and your frustration that you've been listening to. So what's going to go happen? If you don't know the story, and even if you know the story, you're like, oh, how did they put it to music? How did they give me that feeling that I had when I was reading the book or seeing the film? Because I did both. Yes, I'm not much of a reader, but this book I really liked. It's so deep story. It's more than it's about humans. It's animals with a deep sense of humanity and mind. Listen to that. A humanoid acting and thinking. But it's so pretty. Yes, it was me picking a tear away because I was remembering it. And then after that we have what happens after the showdown, and so many things happened. You have the last breath. As in a lot of stories, the hero survives, and Sleep fell again. And yeah. And this one, you won't know. You won't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I really like this album. I hope I didn't spoil anything for you guys. And if I did, I'm very sorry. But I like this album a lot. It is a very good album. It adds to the repertoire of Trick or Treat because they did something new on this album again. and they did change a little bit, but not for the worse. I really do like what they did. They're still power metal, but with a little bit more in-depth storytelling, and I really like that in a song and in song storytelling. So this album I will give 4.7 out of 5. Not because I don't want to give a 5, but yeah, it's very rare to have a 5 out of 5 album. But I don't think a 4 out of 7, 4 out of 5, 4.7 out of 5 is a bad thing either. But before I will end this video, but if you like it and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will end with the part in the book. It's a small part. It's a conversation between Hazel and the Black Rabbit of Death. It's Hazel. You know who I am, right? I don't. Oh yes, my lord. I know who you are. And the people that know the story know what this part is. So I'm gonna end this and see you guys in another video. Hail to you all.